Hi, my name is Paul Musonga. I'll be talking about violence in policing in our communities and how where funds could be made available so we try to remedy this situation that is really a serious problem in the country today. Even though the legacy of civil rights leaders like Martin Luther King still lingers around our communities and the entire nation, there are still traces of racial violence in policing. Notwithstanding this racial violence in policing in our cities, and we still have some good suggestions for remedy. First, if we could open the police records for researchers, the police department, the records, so researchers should get in and get whatever information, at what time they need it. It will be good for the police and the public. Secondly, with the use of body cameras, we could make funds available that we could get more body cameras for each officer, so we will not have repeated incidents that officers are always saying, "I feared for my life," and the victim or who is dead or something, nobody has to, or nobody can confirm what really happened. And thirdly, to empower women and sensitize them to join the force, because some ongoing research has proven that the more women hired, the less violence we will have in our police department, because they will always use a last resort of lethal force other than men who resort as the first option to do what they have to do. On the issue of research, files and records of police departments that will help the public, so records of their various police departments are functioning, what is the level of fairness with this. If appropriate funds are made available to non-governmental organizations, many groups will be privileged to have information from our police bureau. This, as Professor Magnoli acknowledged, Beatrice Magnoli, an associate professor, acknowledged, this will help increase the level of transparency in our police department. And it will go a long way to help reduce racial bias, handling of records. There will be fear of exposure, so our police units will sit up and be more truthful. On the issue of body cameras for the police officers, most police officers have proven effective if their cameras are actually turned on, because they have that body and they know it's like the world watching them. So if each officer could possess a body camera, then that is a good progress for our policing, for the betterment for the public. It's better for the public, it's better for the police officers themselves, because the truth will always be the truth. Like a study carried out by the Executive Research Forum, which is PERF, which the survey stated that a number of perceived benefits for using body-worn cameras, including better evidence documentation and increased accountability and transparency. With this, if there is enough funding for various police districts to acquire body cameras, then it will be a great deal to enhance transparency. On the issue of sensitization of women, or women empowerment, empowering women to join the force, is another option, because most often we have less females or lesser females than male counterparts in most of our police departments in the country. With funding made available, there might be some sensitization of women through women groups and organizations, so they could be encouraged to join the force, like the Community Policing Dispatch, which says, despite progressive legislation aimed at procuring gender equality in the United States, women today make up only 13% of the force, most significantly in larger departments, which shows we have a low rate of female getting into the force, and it's a problem, it's an issue. This shows how fewer women are in the force. With more women, there might be less violence, as they do not often result in later force as a last resort to solve a dispute. With all of these, racial tension, violence can be reduced if well carried out as with policies like allowing researchers to get into the public records of get into records of police department, the use of more body cameras, or every police officer take body camera, and to encourage women to join the force. Then we will have a better and prosperous, non-racist and biased police department, and the country will grow prosperously. Thank you.